Glorious people, good morning. This morning we are going to be sharing on why we go through the things we go through. Why do we go through the things we go through in life? I tell people things don't happen to you by chance. And things don't happen to you maybe because you're too bad or you're too good. We go through the various things we go through for a reason. For a reason. It's like the story in the holy books where the man was born blind, and then Jesus' disciples came to him and they were asking him, Lord, which sin made this man blind? Because he was blind from birth. Is it the parents' sin or is his own sin? And if at all it were to be his sin, he got blind from birth. So what sin did he commit? So they were asking Jesus, does it mean that his blindness is caused by the parents' sin? And Jesus answered them, it's neither the man's sin nor the parents' sin. This man got blind so that God's power, God's glory should be made manifest. And so after that, he was healed. Jesus prayed for him and healed him by rubbing mud on his eyes also. And he regained his sight. And he went around with excitement telling people. And people who saw him, they say, is this not the man that used to be at the gate of the temple that was blind by this and that? And then people were asking, so who healed him? Is it, demonic power, this and that? But this man, in order not to, people wanted to get something to castigate Jesus. But that's not the story for the day. I'm not here to talk about the blind man. I'm here to make us understand that certain things happen to us for a given reason. And so things that we come through, we don't necessarily come through these things by chance. All the challenges you're facing is just a way of building you such that one day you will tell your story of how you overcame what you went through. And it will be someone else's survival guide. So the challenges you go through is for you to be able to use it as a motivational factor, to be able to build someone, to be able to encourage someone, to be able to inspire others who might be going through such challenges or may one day go through such challenges. For those who are close to me, I used to tell my story how I waited for a good number of years before having babies. I went through challenges. I used to be that kind of person that was very fast at judging. I used to rush to judge until condition put me in a situation where I learned to be very, very understanding. When I waited for years before having babies, I got to understand that not every woman having a delay, not every woman having delay in becoming pregnant or having babies had actually committed abortion. Because in those days, the mentality was generally that women who don't have children or who get married, they cannot make babies, is that they have destroyed their wombs. But I went through such. I went through years of waiting before God decided to bless me. And so that process was a mentoring process for me. That experience was a learning process for me. I got from that experience, I now started having empathy. I now started feeling for people, women who are going through the waiting period. I now had a better understanding. I can now counsel them. I can now encourage them. I can now make them to understand that God's time is the best. I can now boldly tell them, trust God's timing. I can understand their pain. I can understand their frustration. I can understand their anxiety. I can understand their fears because I had once been there. So the various challenges we face, my dear, is not to break us, but is there to build us, to fortify us, and preparing us to be an example, preparing us to be counselors, preparing us to be mentors for those who are going to go through the same challenges we have been through. So, my dear, whatever challenges you're facing today, be it disappointment, be it heartbreak, be it sickness, whatever condition, know that you are not the first. Whatever things the challenges you're facing, you are not the first. I want to just encourage you that you should be strong. It's not because you are a bad person, but if you have been evil or you have been bad, change. But don't crucify yourself because of such condition. Have faith. Build yourself to be a good person if in any way you have been a bad person. But if you know that you have not committed any offense or you have not offended any person, have faith, trust God. Know that you are going through these challenges such that you can build yourself in experiences in order to be able to educate or mentor or counsel others. So be positive minded despite the challenges you are going through. I hope I made some sense. Good morning.